you need people like you guys to really take control.
Let me show you something. Let me just show you. Because what you said is a really good question. Why did he allow this stuff to happen to it?
Why?
Yeah, because you got to remember, if you have children, they're your children of disobedience, what do?
Well, of course you punish them.
You punish them. You stay simple with that. You punish them. Correct? If your kids are disobedient to you, you're going to punish them, right? Righteous. Read that.
Baruch chapter 4 and verse 6. Ye were sold to the nation, not for your destruction, but because you moved God to wrath.
So God sold us to the nations because we moved him to wrath. That's the reason why Christopher Columbus came to this side of the earth. This is why when we ruled in the Dark Ages, what you call the Dark Ages, in Europe from 193 AD all the way to 1453, guess what? The Europeans came in, they conquered the land. And when they conquered the land, guess who they took into captivity? Us. That's the reason why when you go over to these different countries, like you go to Germany, you go to Russia, you see all these black, what they call Russian icons on the wall, images of our people, because guess what? We ruled at one, but we didn't rule right. And so guess what God did? He said, you don't want to listen to me? I got a hot belt for you. Real quick, get that in, what is that, Joel? No, Amos.
So he allowed the white people to start ruling them.
Guess what? Watch this. Wait. Hold on. Yeah. 3 Holy Children and get verse 9. Verse 8. Start at verse 8. I want to show you something because what you said is heavy.
That's a good question.
I asked the same question. Yeah. When I first found out this, I was like, no way. God loves everybody. There's no way God created everybody. Guess what? I thought all that, but you know why? Because I had a Christian mindset. Because you got to ask this question. Where was John 3:16 when we went into slavery? For God so loved the world.
That's
Where
right.
was John 3:16 when they came over to this side of the earth and killed off all the what they call Hispanics today, all the Native Americans today? Well, where was it then? When they was giving chicken pox to the Native Americans, where was love then? There was no love. But watch this. Read that.
The book of 3 Holy Children, chapter 1 and verse 8. Wherefore, all that thou hast brought upon us, and everything that thou hast done to us, thou hast done in true judgment.
He did it in judgment. Everything God did to us, it was in true judgment. Read on.
And thou didst deliver us into the hands of lawless enemies.
So he said, you delivered us into the hands of lawless enemies. Guess what? I don't know if everybody knows, but Donald Trump is a lawless enemy.
Right.
He hates you. He hates the Spanish. He hates everybody who ain't on his page. That's right. You understand? That's the reason.
Allow him to rule.
Yeah, you know why you allowed him to rule? Because you didn't. Because I rule too. You know why God allowed him to rule? I'm gonna show you. Wait, watch it. Wait, stay right there. Finish that off.
Most hateful forsakers of God.
Because they say they love God, but when you see their actions, just look at the Palestinians right now. Where's God's love right there? Where's God's love in Israel? And the God's
really tricked God. He tricked God then.
No. Nobody tricks God.
Because they say, okay, give it to us. We can rule. We can do this.
No. That's not what happened.
What happened?
That's not what happened. What happened is we broke God's commandment. Read verse 7 in that.
And he turned it over to the white people.
Verse 7 that I want. Verse 7. Read that.
Verse 7. In all things have we trespassed.
All things have we broken God's commandment. One commandment that we all break. Guess what? We don't keep the Sabbath day holy. That's what they were going over. Another commandment we break, we misuse our women. Our music misuses our women. You understand? We're not raised properly in this society. Why? Because guess what? How can the same people that destroyed you teach you right? How can their schools make you smarter or make you better? No. Guess what? The school system was made by Rockefeller. Rockefeller is who set up the school system, who created BlackRock, who owns all the media today. You think they ever going to tell you the right thing? That's the reason why homosexuality is pushed so much.
That's right.
All these things are brought on us. Why? Because it keeps us at a lower state. Because guess what?
Brought this homosexual thing upon us.
Guess what? It wasn't just white people. A lot of times we like to just say white people only. But guess what? It was nations that did this to us. That's what the Bible says they conspired together, meaning they worked together. That's the reason why you won't find Jamaicans at the UN. You don't find Jamaicans having a seat at the UN. No. Matter of fact, places like what's the country right now? Is it Argentina or one of them? That basically they have all these embargoes against. They won't allow Cuba. They kept Cuba oppressed for so many years. Cuba's a beautiful country, but they won't let it grow. Why? Because they leave dictators that don't treat them right. Because our people hate each other. Right. That's one thing. Then guess what? When we are in power and we do rule over each other, we misuse each other, or we accept gifts from the same people that destroyed us. And guess what their gifts are going to do? They come with, what they call clauses, where they say, hey, if you do X, Y, and Z, I give you this amount of money. That's the reason why Africa is destroyed too. Everywhere you go on the face of the earth is destroyed. Why? Because the Bible says the earth is given into the hands of the wicked. Right. Meaning it's never going to be ruled properly until we get our stuff together. Right. Like my mom, I'm going to give you an example. Wait, let me just give you a quick example. Yeah. Like my mother and my father, they kicked me out of the house at a certain age, but they said, you know what? You need to get your stuff together. Because you know what I was doing in my young age? I was laying in the bed, smoking weed, having girls come over, having fun and so on and stuff. Guess what they said? They said, not in my house. If you want to do that type of stuff, go get your own house. Go live somewhere else. You can live in your car if that's the case, but you're not going to do it here. And guess what? That's the same thing with the kingdom. We had Israel. God said, you don't want to do what I want you to do? Guess what? Get out. I have somebody else deal with you. You know who else deals with you? I kept getting in trouble, getting in trouble with the police, so on and so forth. That's what happens when you don't follow God's commandments. But finish that out.
3 Holy Children, chapter 1 and verse 7. In all things have we trespassed, and not obeyed thy commandments, nor kept them, neither done as thou hast commanded us.
Now jump down to verse 10. Verse 9.
Verse 9. And thou didst deliver us into the hand of the lawless enemies.
Read.
Most hateful forsakers of God. And to an unjust king.
And to an unjust king. Who's more unjust than the presidents that rule over this place?
You're right.
You have, all you gotta do is just looking for dollar bills.
He put us down in their hands.
You know why? All right, get what is that? Psalms chapter, what is that? 17:13? Yeah. 17:13? Get that real quick. Because you gotta understand. God did this for a reason. You understand? Because if you don't listen to your parents, guess what? God is going to have something for you. You Benji, you Jamaican. You grew up with your parents? Yeah. And they kept a tight rope, right? Yeah. Exactly. That's most of our parents. They had a tight rope, but guess what? We were disobedient to them. Watch this. Read that.
Psalm chapter 17 and verse 13. Arise, O Lord. Disappoint him, cast him down. Deliver my soul from the wicked.
Deliver my soul from the wicked. Who are the wicked? So-called white man. Read.
Which is thy sword.
Which is his sword. Which is God's sword. Now, real quick, go to, what is it? Joel. Is it Joel that I asked for? Amos I asked for. Amos. Watch this. Amos 3 and 1. Watch what God says. Amos chapter 3 and verse 1. Because everything you're saying is actually 100% an excellent question. These excellent questions, and I'm happy you actually taking into consideration into what we're saying. But watch this.
Amos chapter 3 and verse 1. Hear this word that the Lord has spoken against you, O children of Israel.
I'm looking at the children of Israel in here.
Right.
And God says, hear my word. One thing we don't do is listen to God. That's one thing black people don't do. We don't listen to God. But we know we do a burn incense, we do all kind of other stuff, but it's not to God. It's actually to Satan. You understand? Read on.
Against the whole family which I brought up from the land of Egypt.
The whole family which he brought up from the land of Egypt. Read.
Saying, you only...
Wait. That sounds kind of racist. He said, what?
Saying, you only have I known of all the families of the earth.
Meaning all the nations on the face of the earth. It was only the 12 tribes of Israel God has known. Read on.
Therefore,
meaning I only knew you. Therefore, read.
I will punish you for all your iniquities.
So God said he will punish us because this is why he made the nation. Because you actually
Because the 12 tribes of Israel is the only race in know, right?
That's all he knows. And a lot of times we don't consider, why did he create all the other nations? What were all the other nations for? Watch this. Deuteronomy 32 and verse 8.
Yes, sir.
This is why God created the
Save
nation.
us.
No, he didn't. Actually, you know what? When we broke God's commandment, guess what? Then they began to enslave us. But prior to that, this is what all the nations were created for. I'm going to show you. Watch. A matter of fact, I'm not showing you. I let the Bible speak and God will show you.
Right.
Read that.
Deuteronomy chapter 32 and verse 8. When the Most High divided to the nations their inheritance,
So when he gave everybody their inheritance, all the nations, read,
he separated the sons of Adam.
all the sons of Adam, which are the other nations, which would be your the so-called white man, which would be the Arab, which would be the Chinese, Japanese, the East Indian, all those nations. God did. What did he say?
He set the bounds of the people according to the number of the children of Israel.
He created them according to our number. Well, just think about it. If blacks and Hispanics actually came together as one, we would be the largest group on the face of the earth.
Right. That's right.
We would be able to control the whole earth. If we brought our money together, they say the African Americans alone spend enough to buy a country. Enough. They spend enough on Christmas and all these holidays to buy a country. Imagine if all of us came together and we united and we weren't so divided. Guess what? We will be able to take over the world easy. Why do you think? I'm going to put it like this. When you think about what they call football, soccer, who's the best? It's always a Hispanic or a black person. When you think about baseball, always a Hispanic or a black person. When you think about football, basketball, anything athletic, any music that's good has always come from us. Meaning God created us different from everybody else. He created us on a God level. But guess what? We don't walk that way. We don't treat each other that way. We don't care for each other that way. Because if I love my brother like I love myself, guess what? I wouldn't sleep with his girl. I wouldn't rob from him. I wouldn't hurt him. I wouldn't steal from him. I wouldn't do any of that. Matter of fact, real quick.
So wait, just
Yeah, go
black
ahead.
people alone do these things.
What's that?
Rob, steal, sleep with his girl. All
No. The majority is our people. The majority, and you know what? I'm not going to say, I'm going to put it like this. God gave the commandments to us. So therefore,
black people.
no, blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans. Not just black people. That's the problem. A lot of times, people think it's a black thing. No, it's not a black thing. It's a nation thing.
So why punish us for everybody then?
No, he didn't just punish us. Guess what? Let me ask this question. Hispanics are a lighter view than us. Didn't they go into slavery? Matter of fact, they went into slavery before us.
That's a good question.
They went in before us. In 1492, guess who came over here to this side of the world in Hispaniola? It was a European from that side of the earth, and the Hispanic didn't say, "Hey, ¿cómo están? Hey, hola, ¿cómo están? Hey, bien, my friend." They didn't say that. No, guess what? They put them in slavery. Matter of fact, there's a book where Christopher Columbus says that the nature of the Hispanics was so great and so pleasant. What did he do? He said he took slaves over to Europe to show the kings and queens of Spain. Do you understand? That's what he did. Why? Because guess what? They hate our guts. They hate our guts. But it's like I said once again, it's not a black and a white thing. That's the problem. A lot of times we think it's, or should I say, it's not a color thing. It's a nationality thing. You understand? Because we all come in different colors. Like if you see somebody like Blake Griffin, he's very light skinned, but guess what? He's an Israelite. You understand? You have brothers and sisters like Drake's son. Drake's son, very light. You would think that he's white when he gets a little bit older, or you might even think he might not be a black person, but he is. It's not a color thing. Never think it's about color. Real quick, what you got?
Numbers chapter 1 and verse 18.
Yeah, go ahead, read that.
Numbers chapter 1 and verse 18. And they assembled all the congregation together on the first day of the second month. And they declared their pedigrees after their families by the house of their fathers.
So it's by the house of your father. Your nationality is determined by your father. Why? That's why, I don't know if you ever grew up, they used to say, your seed. They call your child your seed. Guess what? It's your seed because you plant the seed in a woman.
That's right.
That's the reason why she's the earth, the fertile ground, and you plant your seed in her. That's why it says this. Wait, Sirach chapter 19. Sirach 19 and Sirach 26 and 19. Watch this. Sirach 26 and 19. Ecclesiastes. Because a lot of times we get the notion in our head that the woman is above us, that the woman is this, the woman is that. The woman is not above any man on the face of the earth. Matter of fact, the woman comes from man.
Right.
But watch this. I want to show you something. This is how important your seed is. Read that.
Sirach chapter 26 and verse 19.
Uh-huh.
My son, keep the flower of thine age sound.
Meaning keep the flower of your age. Keep it sound. Be sound-minded when you're dealing with a woman. Read.
And give not thy strength to strangers.
Meaning don't sleep with the other nation. You should only have a wife out of the 12 tribes of Israel. That's what it's saying. Meaning, guess what? God is a racist. I hate to say it. God is very racist.
You know what I was thinking?
God is a racist.
You know what I was
know it
thinking?
sounds crazy, but God is a racist.
You know what I was thinking?
Watch this. Read on.
When thou hast gotten a fruitful possession,
When you get a fruitful possession
throughout all thy field,
throughout all the children of Israel, read.
sow it with thine own seed.
Sow it with your own seed. Meaning you put your, I don't want to say it because the kids is in here, but when you had laid down with a woman, make sure that she is of your nation, of the 12 tribes of Israel.
That's right.
Because guess what? We got, if you like big booty, you got big booty. If you like flat booty, you got flat booty. It's all in Israel. We got
You know
everything.
that's segregation, though.
Yes, the Bible's a segregated book. Watch this. This is how segregated it is.
For I am with thee, saith the Lord, to save thee, though I make a full end of all nations, whither I have scattered thee.
Wait. He said a full end, not a partial end, but a full end. Meaning, when Christ comes back, guess who's going to inhabit the earth? The nations are going to fall into their proper position. They're going to be servants to us. They're going to build up the kingdom. Yes, it's a racist book. The Bible's a very racist book.
That's right.
A very racist book. I can't even front to you. That's the reason why they changed the image to look like this. That's because they understood that this is a racist book. When Christ actually is a dark-skinned, melanated man. He's a black. All right, hey, shalom. I'm off salute. We just finished our barbershop talk over here at Indigo Cuts. Hey, and you know what? We went in there. We cried aloud, spare not. We didn't cry aloud too much, but the word came out, and you had Amalek in the shop. You had who else did he say? Indian, Elam. And you know what happened? They got offended and they kicked us out. But we understand. But the word did not go out void because we had a brother from tribe of Benjamin asked many questions, and he had good questions. And you know what else? He subscribed, and that's good enough for us as long as we get one out of it. So with that, we say shalom.